Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Logan, aka Suburban Yinzer, and happy Groundhog's Day to everybody around the country and around the world, especially we as Yinzers or Southwestern Pennsylvanians up here in Southwestern PA. This is a tradition, this is a holiday like no other. It's pretty significant for Southwestern Pennsylvania or just Pennsylvania in general. So this video is going to be about the history and the culture and the lore of Groundhog Day in Pennsylvania especially. But over here, as you can see, or maybe over there, I don't know which direction I'm pointing to, but regardless, either or, is a picture of me last year at the 2025 Pittsburgh St. Patrick's Day Parade. So since I walk in the parade, we walk down through downtown Pittsburgh, and as you can see, Punxsutawney Phil himself is right next to me. I was probably a foot away from Punxsutawney Phil himself. They put him in a little bubble, the inner circle. They put him in a bubble, and he rides on the front of a truck, and they ride him through downtown Pittsburgh. See, that just shows how significant and how important Groundhog's Day is, especially around here, like Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, the whole Commonwealth of PA, the whole rectangle. Pennsylvania really loves Punxsutawney Phil. The whole culture, the whole tradition, the whole lore, the background about it. But most people don't understand that Punxsutawney Phil, the whole history, the culture behind Phil, of course, has connections to the Pennsylvania Dutch. And me, as a descendant of Pennsylvania Dutch ancestors, especially out in the east, closer to Harrisburg and Philadelphia, when my German ancestors on my mother's side of the family came to Pennsylvania in about the 1700s, naturally, they brought a lot of these cultural traditions, these German, ancient Germanic, Celtic traditions with them over the Atlantic Ocean to the United States, aka the colonies at the time, Pennsylvania. But regardless, before I go into it, I would just like to say as a Yinzer that I absolutely love Groundhog Day, especially as a Pennsylvanian. As many Yins would know, I'm a proud Pennsylvanian. And last year, ironically, right about a month after I met Punxsutawney Phil in March, in about April or May, me and my family, we went up to Punxsutawney for the first time ever. And no, I've never been to the Groundhog Day celebration, which it's on a bucket list. If you're from Pennsylvania, you have to go see it one time, and I'm going to in the future. But regardless, Punxsutawney, we went there in the spring, a couple months after the celebration on February 2nd. So we go there, and we saw the town. We went to Gobbler's Knob. And no, Gobbler's Knob is not inside the town. Because many people think, oh, Gobbler's Knob, like in the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, they think the stage where they bring Phil out of the log, they think it's in the town. Fake news. Gobbler's Knob is like a couple miles up the road from Punxsutawney, it's like in the middle of the woods. You have to drive to get there. And during the celebration, I heard from the locals, they got to bus you in. You can't just drive there. You got to literally park miles away. They apparently put you on a bus and they bus you in. But tens of thousands of people come from all over the country, maybe the world, to see this tradition in Jefferson County, Pennsylvania, which is about approximately an hour and a half from Pittsburgh, my hometown. So regardless, let's get into this. So, the first official Groundhog Day celebration took place on February 2nd, 1887, in Punxsutawney, Jefferson County, Pennsylvania. The annual the ritual, has roots in pre-Christian traditions and was brought to the United States by German immigrants from the approximate period of the 1600s to the 1800s. So, about in that 200-year window, the Germans, primarily the Pennsylvania Dutch, or aka the Pennsylvania Germans, or Deutsch, Side note, Dutch is fake news. It's the Pennsylvania Deutsch. But we as Anglos, people who speak English, we can't pronounce Deutsch. So it was slang to Dutch. They're not from Holland, they're from Germany. Regardless, per tradition, if Punxsutawney Phil or Staten Island Chuck sees their shadows on Groundhog Day, which was today, or is today, it means North Americans are due for 6 more weeks of winter. No shadow sightings are no shadow sightings are a harbinger of an early spring. So I got my notes from the History Channel's website, so I'm not being a plagiarist, you know. I don't want the History Channel coming after me going, "We're suing you, China." But anyway, so what is Groundhog's Day, the correlation between Groundhog Day and the ancient Celtic tradition? Just like any other celebration in North America, there's always a Celtic, ancient European, or pagan connotation to it. Every single time. Christmas, Halloween, Groundhog Day. It literally, like the Germans especially, or the Irish and Germans, Celts, when they were from Europe, when they came from Europe, they came to the United States, the colonies / states. They brought a lot of these traditions with them. One tradition, of course, like Christmas and Halloween, Groundhog Day, was observing animals during winter, because apparently in the ancient Celtic world, you have to observe animals to see basically what the weather patterns are going to be. So the Germans and the Irish and everybody else from thousands of years ago, they'd be at farming. And if you saw like an animal, like a rodent, groundhog, see its shadow in the winter, especially this time of year around February, they wanted to see when the transition from winter to spring was. Based on the animal's habits, based on the animal's activities at this time of year, if they saw their shadow, if they were coming out early, you could determine, okay, spring's right around the corner. So this culture and this tradition, of course, was brewed upon thousands of years of folklore. And then it was brought over the boat to the United States. Well, the British colonies transitioned to the United States in 1776, but regardless. So, following midway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, I mean, we had a full moon this morning, so it's kind of eerie there. February 2nd is a significant day in several ancient and modern traditions. The Celts, for instance, celebrated it as Imbolc, a pagan festival marking the beginning of spring. You see, the pagans and the Celts are pagan. They always have a connotation. My Irish, German ancestors from Europe, they always got to bring this stuff over with them. You know, pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, bells, Christmas trees, watching groundhogs look at their shadow. There's always a pagan / Celtic connotation. There's always some roots with the Celts. Every single time. So, as Christianity spread through Europe, the timing and themes of Imbolc coincided with Candlemas, a feast commemorating the presentation of Jesus at the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. In certain parts of Europe, Christians believed that a sunny Candlemas meant another 40 days of cold and snow. Just like Christmas, just like Halloween, there's always a conflict between the pagans and the Christians. Thousands of years ago, about 1,000 plus years ago in Europe, the Christians were trying to convert the pagans into Christianity. So naturally, there's a conflicting transition of traditions and rituals based on the pagans and the Christians coinciding, which then evolves into Halloween, Christmas, Groundhog Day. It's always that way, especially we as descendants of Europeans. We always do this. Germans developed their own take on the legend, pronouncing the day sunny only if badgers and other small animals glimpsed their own shadows. When German immigrants settled Pennsylvania in the 17 and 1800s, they brought the custom with them, choosing the native groundhog as their annual forecaster, which I already explained a wee bit ago. So, why is it that we celebrate Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney? What is so special about Punxsutawney in Jefferson County, Pennsylvania? Well, we, as the descendants of the Pennsylvania Dutch, and as Pennsylvanians ourselves, we have a strong connection to Germanic lore, Germanic culture, Germanic tradition. And especially into the rural areas of Pennsylvania, the further east you go, the more German or Pennsylvania Dutch connotation, correlation, and causation you're going to see. But in Pennsylvania in general, the whole Commonwealth has tons of Germanic folklore and Germanic culture, language, tradition, influence in general. So, but Punxsutawney especially, the first Groundhog Day was in Punxsutawney. And it was the brainchild of a local newspaper editor named Clymer Fries, who sold a group of businessmen and groundhog hunters, known collectively as the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club, on the idea. The men trekked onto a site called Gobbler's Knob, which, wherever, me and my brother standing there at Gobbler's Knob, and myself, I have a video from a couple months ago, back in last year, like last spring when I was there. You should check it out. Scroll all the way down, or I'll put the link in the bio or description, regardless. We actually went to Gobbler's Knob and stood on the stage with the log, like this morning, that they took Phil out of. And it's so awesome because, you know, to me, as a Pennsylvanian and as a descendant of Pennsylvanian Germans or Pennsylvania Dutch, you know, it's so neat to stand on that site because it's such a historic, popular Pennsylvanian tradition. I wish I could go on February 2nd, mind you. So the men trekked up to Gobbler's Knob, where the inaugural Groundhog became the bearer of bad news when he saw his shadow. Nowadays, the yearly festivals in Punxsutawney are presided over by a band of local dignitaries as the Inner Circle. You know, its members wear top hats and conduct the official proceedings in the Pennsylvania Dutch dialect. And last year at the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Pittsburgh, I met some of the Inner Circle members. I met them. Here's a picture right there for proof. And it's super neat because these guys, I mean, everybody makes fun of it and says, oh, they're losers, they're dumb. You know, there's some people that are haters to the whole tradition, the whole culture, and the lore of it. Me, I'm like in awe of it because these guys and the whole idea in general, they are devoted religiously to this culture, to this tradition, to the history of it. And I give them praise 100%. And these guys take it so serious. It's not like, yeah, it's for fun. Yeah, they're doing it out of comical reasons. But deep down inside them, in the core of them, these guys believe what they're doing. And for me, I respect it 100%. And there's no reason why you have to be mean or you have to be ignorant. Just embrace the culture and the folklore. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all for fun. So, these guys speak Groundhogese, which is basically a twinge of Pennsylvania Dutch to Punxsutawney Phil in the morning. And every February 2nd, tens of thousands of spectators, they come to Punxsutawney in Jefferson County, PA, a borough that's home to some 5,500 people. So it's a little town, but tens of thousands of people from all over come there to see this. So it's not just me who loves it. There's way more people out there that actually trek from like California, Canada, Florida. And there's no, well, for me as a Yinzer not to go there, it's a slap in the face to myself. I mean, embarrassing. But regardless, it was immortalized in the 1993 movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. Fantastic movie. But the downside about the movie was it was shot in Woodstock, Illinois. See, that is what I'm mad about at the end of the day. Why didn't they film it in Punxsutawney? How cool that would have been. You didn't know how I'm a huge Gettysburg nerd, right? Gettysburg, the movie, in 1993, same year as Groundhog Day, ironically, was filmed right outside Gettysburg, like in the same area, square mile area. Why didn't they film the movie in Punxsutawney or in the area, especially on Gobbler's Knob, to promote it even more? It's misleading, and it's kind of like fake news-ish to say that, oh, Gobbler's Knob's in the town. No, it's not. First of all, the town and Gobbler's Knob are many miles away. And in the movie, when you watch it and you're from like somewhere else in the USA, you think, oh my God, it's in the town. I'm going to go down there and get a couple beers and walk across the street. No, you're not. You got to go all the way up into the woods in the middle of nowhere to Gobbler's Knob on a stage that's miles away. That's why they should have filmed it in Punxsutawney on location. Because, in my opinion, if you're going to do something, do it realistically. Regardless. But anyway, so to me, in conclusion, to wrap it all up, Groundhog Day is a fantastic tradition. It's a fantastic holiday. It's all for fun. It's amazing. I love it. And as a Pennsylvanian, a descendant of Pennsylvanian German ancestors, I completely endorse and celebrate and love this holiday. 100%. And me, Logan, Suburban Yinzer, I'm going to go up there someday on February 2nd. Even if it's below zero, I don't care. And I'm going to see that groundhog on that stage of Gobbler's Knob, and I'm going to be a part of Pennsylvania culture and tradition. Because as a Pennsylvanian as a Yinzer, I have to see it one time. I have to do it. And when I go up there, I'm going to record it all. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Happy Groundhog Day. Peace out. 6 more weeks of winter.